Hello, hello, hello. It looks like we're live on YouTube. This is Adrian Obie, Capricorn Tigress of Astrology: A Look Inside, and I am coming to you with some horoscopes. You guys, I have to tell you, I'm really sorry. I'm late getting these horoscopes to you guys for the month of December. I did three on the first. I uploaded them a few days back. I've just been, I don't know. I'm just going to just say this. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, since Jupiter went into Capricorn, it's been a daze, a complete daze. I can't believe it's the 11th, 7 a.m. on the 11th. I mean, I should be asleep. I'm not asleep. I'm making these because it's the 11th. Tomorrow is the full moon. Where has the month gone? So, okay, I may or may not be alone in this. I am a double Capricorn. Saturn is sitting on my ascendant. Pluto is inside my ascendant. And the stellium that's going to happen in Capricorn. Wow. So let's go ahead and start. I'm actually going to begin with the sign of Gemini. Gemini, you are first tonight. Okay, so Gemini, the emphasis this month, I mean, because we're already pretty much at the full moon. Tomorrow is the full moon, and that's going to be happening in your first house. I mean, it's going to be affecting you personally, Gemini, because it's happening in the house of, well, you, Gemini. So you may feel over the next few weeks, I mean, until the new moon in Capricorn, you may feel a little bit more nervous than normal, a little bit more jittery. I had talked about the fact that some Geminis tend toward hives, rashes, allergies of all kinds. Excuse me, guys. I was just eating before I started. Hold on, I'm going to drink something. So sorry. Geminis also tend towards nervousness. And so if you are a Gemini, have Gemini moon, Gemini Venus, Gemini rising, Gemini sun, you know, you may feel this full moon that's in Gemini because it's going to be 2 weeks of this vibe, this Gemini vibe. Now it's going to be affecting your physical self, your personality, and your actual physical body. So it, you know, like I said, I was thinking hives and rashes, but it could just be like a nervous tick, or you just notice that you do something that you might not otherwise do, but you do it during the full moon, and it's very, whatever, that's very Gemini. You know, Geminis like to talk a lot. Often they're compared to like transistor radios, or, you know, like just something that doesn't stop. It just goes on and on, like the Energizer Bunny. So you guys might be going through something like that. Another thing is talking. I'm just, you know, because when the full moon is in your first house, then it's opposing the seventh house, which is the house of your partner. So, I mean, it could be that because Geminis aren't used to full moons. Like full moons signify emotion, right? And um, Geminis are air. You know, they're thinkers. They're more thinkers than emotions. They're not coming at it from the emotional standpoint of things. They're coming at it from the rational, analytical thought processes about a certain thing. And so the full moon may feel foreign, and it may affect your relationships, partners, like your marriage partner, your significant other. There's nothing much going on in the fifth house, so I don't see that's going to be affected. but all of that Capricorn is going on in the 8th house. All of it. All of it. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. Geminis, some of y'all going to have some great sex life. Just say it. Wish I knew some Geminis right about now. My goodness. The stellium of Capricorn is going to be happening in your 8th house of sex. I'm just saying. Now, this could be money. This could be money. It may not be sex. It may be money. Okay. And that's a beautiful thing because we're talking about, I mean, this is a crazy stellium. Okay. But as of the 26th, there's going to be a solar eclipse, the new moon in Capricorn. We got Venus in Capricorn now. We've got Jupiter in Capricorn now. We've got Pluto in Capricorn now. We've got Saturn in Capricorn now. And we're going to have the sun in Capricorn. It's a big stellium. It's a lot of Capricorn. I'm excited because I am a Capricorn. But man, you gems. Oof. Sexiness. There's all kind of sexiness going on. Lord. And I'm just wondering, isn't Mars or Mercury when I'm going into the 7th house? You guys might seriously fall in love. I mean, I'm not seeing in the 5th house. It's not there. But I mean, you've got Libra on the 5th house by, automatically. Anyway, it's exciting. I wonder what's going to happen with all that Capricorn in 8th house. It could just be you got an eye for money. I mean, the North Node is in the 2nd house, and all these planets are going to be in the 8th house. That's money. Geminis are going to get money. Most likely. I believe so. Okay. The only thing I would say with Chiron in the 11th house is just be your friends. Some of your friends might be acting a little funky. You might have to work out some issues with friends. A lot of Geminis have lost some friends over the last year. I mean, Chiron in the 11th house has not been kind to you guys, Gems. If you've lost friends and you really care about your friend, reach out to your friend. You make up with your friend. Chiron's the wounded healer, but it heals. Yeah, there's a wound. Heal it. And reach out to your friends, Geminis. Okay? Okay, I'm going to stop preaching. Merry Christmas to you, Geminis. May you have a beautiful couple of, weeks when the full moon is going to be illuminating all that Gemini, the last full moon of the year, the last full moon of the decade, a thinking, thoughtful, rational, analytical Gemini, talking, communicating moon. Beautiful. Love to you, Geminis. And may you have a beautiful 2020. I'll see you then. Bye. So let's move on to Cancer. Cancers. Cancer. Cancer. I don't know why I feel like I had to sing it like Shirley Bassey from 007, right? Cancer. You got a lot going on, Cancer. You do. The North Node's still in your 1st house, and, it's the full moon's going to be in your 12th house, and, got Uranus in the 11th house, and Chiron up in the 10th house. You Cancers have been through a lot. You Cancers are going through a lot, and you're going through a lot this month. You may be going through a lot this month in your relationships. Oh my goodness, Cancer, what's been going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, what's going on? I tell you what's going on. Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, I started singing. That's because there's a lot going on in your 7th house, Cancer. The stellium, all that Capricorn is going on in the 7th house. Now, because I got a little Cancer friend out there, and we have not been talking the way we used to. And it's probably because of all this Capricorn in the 7th house. Suddenly the man might think I'm an enemy. I am not an enemy. I'm not. You might see me as one, but I'm not an enemy. I'm not. But, you know, I probably am not somebody to be F with. And you're probably not either. But look, it might just be because, well, there's a lot of me in your seventh house of partnerships, and you might be like running. That's a lot of seventh house. I would run too. Ain't nobody, that's a lot. That's a lot. I just stay away. Okay, let me give you an idea. I mean, we're talking about the sun. It's going to be the sun in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, the new moon in Capricorn, the solar eclipse in Capricorn. It's all happening in your seventh house of partnerships. Now, if I was a person who was, because I'm kind of like that, I don't know why I think the way I think. I think this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to 6 to 7 aspects. I'm thinking if this was a player, I'm not saying it's the Cancer I know, but I have accused him of this. But if you were a Cancer player, with this Capricorn, that many Capricorns, that means this player is juggling as many as 6 or 7 at this time. Even though he says it's not juggling at all. That's a lot to juggle. That's going to catch up to you on that solar eclipse. That's happening around the 26th of December. It's after Christmas. You might find that maybe a couple of them all show up at the same time. It's Christmas. I don't know. Something's happening. There's a solar eclipse. I can't wait to hear about that story because that's like a juicy storyline right there. But for most normal Cancers, this is probably going to be a beautiful time for your relationships because it's all in the partnership house. Most Cancers, you're falling in love. Most likely you're falling in love with someone or at least establishing a firm partnership with someone. Now, you're probably falling in love with somebody right now. And that's because Mars and Mercury have been in the 5th house in Scorpio. Okay, that's a lot going on right there. And then we've got all this seriousness of Capricorn in the 7th house of partnership. Even Saturn is there urging you to be more serious, to look at love, relationships, romance, and partnerships in a more serious light. It may have something to do with a long-term partnership that you've been in for a very long time. You might suddenly decide to get married to someone that you've been with for a very long time. Something like that. I mean, it is a solar eclipse. I wouldn't be surprised if suddenly I heard this dude got married. I'm just saying. Now, with the full moon in the 12th like that, though, from now to the 26th, it's the time of self-undoing. So before you even get there, you might unravel or undo. I mean, with a lot of, the full moon in particular in the 12th house, I'm just seeing a lot of drinking. Be careful of being just drunk. All of the holidays, like, where is he at? He's all tipping around all drunk. Yeah, that could definitely happen, especially with Neptune and Chiron and Uranus sitting way up high in the chart for you Cancers. Either way, you had Mercury and Mars in the 5th house in Scorpio. It's been fun. You've had a lot of fun doing it. And, eventually you're going to have to not be drunk. Just saying. The party will have to stop soon. But it is not going to stop yet. I don't think so. Not with all of those things happening in the 7th house of partnerships, because partners can be more than just marriage partners. It's all kind of partnerships. You could be doing things with groups. Like this person I'm thinking about, I know is in several bands. So that's lots of partners, right? Lots of people in your band. You're out partying, doing things. You got Uranus as Cancer. You got Uranus in the 11th house. So your friendships are varied. They're all over the place. They're unique. They're different. This is just a very unique time. The only thing I would say for Cancers is just to be wary of any type of sadness that might be connected with your career, since Chiron, the wounded healer, is up in that area. And it might, it's your career is an area that needs to be healed. have to heal that Cancer. So I hope you're doing things to heal your career and enjoy your partnerships and be good to your partners and stuff like that. Okay? Okay. Much love to you, Cancer, and happy holidays. And don't be too drunk over the holidays. Okay. Okay. Next up on my list is Leo. Happy holidays, Leo. Happy holidays. I just feel like I wanted to start singing to the Leos. Okay, so the funny thing is the full moon that is occurring in Gemini tomorrow is going to be occurring in your 11th house of friendships. Friends. Oh, I gotta sing it. Everybody needs friends. I'm so old. Okay, you gotta have friends. Okay, I think you're gonna make new friends, maybe reestablish your friendships with old friends. If you've had, problems with friends, you might find that you are able to make up with friends. The one thing I would caution about is having arguments with friends, because the full moon tends to argument. And since the full moon is happening in Gemini, that means it's opposing Sag, and that means it's just perhaps a debate over who's right over some stupid subject that doesn't matter. Don't do that. Overall, I think a lot of the emphasis for you guys, Leo, is really just going to be in your work and your health. A lot of Leos might be worried about their health right now. Not worried, just working on it. Just working on themselves, working on their health, going out, working at the gym. You might be concerned that you're gaining weight. And that's because Jupiter is in the 6th house. Jupiter in the 6th house can sometimes be a good thing. Jupiter in the 6th house can sometimes not be that great. I was happy when Jupiter got out of my daughter's 6th house. I didn't like it there at all. And that's because it's too much of a good thing. It's too much emphasis on your health. You know what I mean? You might be ready for it to leave too by the time it gets out of Capricorn, because it'll be too much of the emphasis on your health. Sometimes you want to think about something else. You don't want to think about your health. Like, that who wants to think about their health? It could just be work, like the tedious chores of your work. Things that you have to do day after day after day after day after day, that kind of thing. But and it's Capricorn, so it's extra like dull. I know. I mean, I'm a Capricorn. I'm not saying we're dull. I'm just saying it's the 6th house. Like, come on. So anyway, there's a stellium of planets there. Okay, you've got wow. There's the sun in Capricorn. We've got Jupiter in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn. Got the solar eclipse coming up in Capricorn, the new moon in Capricorn. Everything's in freaking Capricorn. Look, that's a lot of opportunities for a lot of things to go down in your work. A lot. And if you're dealing with a work environment that's not that cool, with Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter all hanging out there, and the new moon and the solar eclipse and the sun, it's a lot going on. I would say if you have any opposition at your work, especially with Uranus going through your 10th house of career, I would not rock the boat at all. Not with Uranus in your 10th house, and not with all that stellium like that in your 6th. It is not the time to rock the boat. Neptune's in your 8th house, making your money really nebulous. Really nebulous. So I would go with the flow at my work if I were you. If the boss says jump, I say, hi, women, boss. Hi, women, jump, boss. Yes, sir. No, I'm not saying to go that far. But, the only thing is if you're not a peon and you are the boss, now that helps. Or you're like in mid-management. I'm just saying. It does not help if you're a peon, especially if you're a Leo peon. no Leo should ever be a peon anyway, but to have a Leo be a peon when there's a stellium in Capricorn in their sixth house. Because, like, when I think about Capricorn in the sixth house, I'm thinking of drudgery. That just to me is like tedious, menial task, drudgery. And you might feel like it's drudgery. The only thing is if you're like, you know, it's Capricorn, but you're a creative, it's coming out in creative ways. Like you're a musician and you just become the best damn musician there is, right? And you work hard, you play hard, that type of thing. And I could see that really working out well. So, I mean, the only other thing, I mean, with Mercury and Mars going through your fourth, they're about to go into your fifth, man. Your romance is about to perk up. Perk up! Leos. You're about to get the perk up. But, you know, it's not right away, but it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. You got the perk up coming. So, yeah, even if you're going through a little lull in your relationships or in romance or anything, just sit tight a few weeks. It's all about the perk up for you, Leos. It's all uphill from here, believe me. Okay, so hang in there, my friends. You got this, and just sing Christmas carols and give and have lots of fun and enjoy the holiday cheer. And yeah. Okay. And you know, you could do really well at the one thing. For some reason, I got this message like someone has like a report due at work, and they write like the best kick-ass report ever, and get like out of the blue a raise or a bonus or a promotion. Uranus in the 10th house. Anyway, good luck, Leos. Good luck. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you all. Bye. Next up, we have Virgo. Virgo. Hello, Virgos. Virgo. Well, you guys have hit the jackpot again. How? How does Virgo do it? How? How is it your jackpot? How is it your jackpot, Virgo? But it is. And let me tell you why. Because the full moon in Gemini is happening in the 10th house. That's your career. Some Virgos' careers is about to take off. Like flying. The career is flying. Oh, my Virgos are flying. They're flying high in the sky. I don't know where that song came from. But there's a full moon in Virgo. I mean, in Gemini. And it just, to me, it's like a hot air balloon. It's like flying high. I'm flying like an eagle to the sea. I don't know why I keep singing. What is going on with me? Anyway, I can't stop. I'm on a roll. Oh my gosh, someone stop me. Anyway, the full moon is in your 10th house. And that's amazing for you Geminis, really. I'm not kidding. Because first of all, that's 2 weeks of God knows what. And, you know, here's the thing. Gemini is naturally square Virgo. So that's activity. That's action. It's like fire under your butt. It's just because the square, the friction of the square. You're not going to be able to rest. You're going to have to make something happen with your career. Your career is going, it's the friction. It's like these two things. Oh, wait, some of it just came off. Yeah, that. Like it'll start a fire or something will just come off. I didn't want to lose any of this. Oh. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right? It's igniting. That's the word, igniting. Your career is igniting. Okay. All right. Because air, it's going to, it's it's like get it out, get it out. But here's the thing. And the reason why I'm saying this and why I keep referring to heat, even though we're not talking about heat, is because it's happening in the 10th house. Okay, look how my mind works. Okay, follow my mind. The full moon is happening in your 10th house of career. The 10th house is the natural house of Capricorn. Okay. Okay. The emphasis for the month is in Capricorn. And when I look in the chart to find out where Capricorn is for Virgo, it's all in the 5th house of luck. The sun, the moon, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, the solar eclipse, the 5th house. So if you're an entrepreneur, like if you own your own business, that's it. You're taking off. It's gonna feel like you hit the lotto. It's gonna be like you hit the lotto. You might even hit the lotto. That's the sun, the moon, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all of that happening in your 5th house of luck. Playing the lotto. Go play a freaking lotto. Virgo, tomorrow is the full moon, right? In Gemini, the 10th house. On these 12 days of Christmas, I want you to play the lotto every day. I swear, on the first day of Christmas, I went to play this number at 7-Eleven. Every day. Play. Every day, play. 5th house, play. Every day, play. Every day, play. Communication, Mercury, Mars in the 3rd house in Scorpio, but that's also the house of Gemini. The full moon's happening in Gemini. Everyday play. Go to a local store like a 7-Eleven or something like that. Pick up your little scratchy ticket, your lotto ticket. Do it. Anybody who wins, tell me. And I win at least 5% of the wins. I'm just saying. Okay. Oh, by the way, the North Node, no, 1%, I'll take 1%. The North Node is in the 11th house of Cancer. The 11th house rules hopes, dreams, and wishes. I kid you not. Hopes, dreams, and wishes. It's all about getting those hopes, dreams, and wishes met this month, Virgo. And I believe you can do it. I think you're going to be lucky in love. I think you're going to be lucky in romance. I think you're going to be lucky in your entrepreneurial pursuits, any business that you're on. I think you're going to be lucky in taking chances, going out, having fun, having parties, all of that. That's what this is. Enjoy it. Gemini's full moon up in your 10th house. Your career is going to shine. Everybody's going to love you. It's go time. Okay? All right. Much love and light to you, Virgos, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you in 2020. Okay. Next up is Libra. Oh, my Libras. Libra. Why am I singing like Shirley Bassey tonight? What is that? Libra, this is all occurring in your 4th house. Okay. There's a lot going down at home, isn't it? All going down in the Ville. All down in the home life. There might be things going on in a home life that you don't show to the world. Other people don't know what's going on in that home, but there's stuff going down. A lot. And the funny thing when I look at this is that I feel like whatever is going down in the home, I think it's all going to come out. Like, you got to be careful with that because the North Node is in Cancer up in the 10th house. And it's getting close to crossing over the midheaven area to go into Gemini. So I'm thinking if there's been any secrets, anything going on in the home, not cool, not kosher, not right, it's all going to be exposed and the whole world's going to know about it. So I hope you got that together and I just hope everything, because the only reason I'm saying that is because Pluto and Saturn have been sitting in the 4th house. Pluto and Saturn together in the fourth house. And now Jupiter is there, and the sun is there, and the new moon is there. And as of the 26th, and Venus will be there. And the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is going to expose all of that. If there's any problem, or say, for instance, if you're a Libra that's been in a partnership that's not been cool, but you've been putting up with it, you've been letting the man beat your ass, you know, all that kind of stuff, that's coming out, I'm telling you. Stuff got to stop. Like putting up with that mess. I'm sorry. I don't even know you, but I'm just, for some reason, I got upset about it. Because Chiron, you got Chiron, the wounded healer, in the 7th house, you know. I think this whole year, there might have been some wounds. There might have been some pains. You guys hopefully have been working out whatever it is. But if there have been wounds and pains and hurts and tears and things not getting worked out, that ain't cool. So I hope you've been working it out, because that's the only way you're going to fix anything. But when I see, you know, the power trips at home, and Saturn's there too, it makes me wonder. And I just hope everything's okay. Because I really think that with that new moon in Capricorn in that 4th house, that's going to expose a lot of things. First of all, the moon don't belong in Capricorn. It belongs in Cancer. And the moon, it loves being in the 4th house, but it ain't in its own home. It's, you know, Cancer sitting up at the top. So I just feel like, you know, like I said, I think some things might get exposed. And speaking of exposure, at this time, the full moon is, well, as of tomorrow, going to be in your 9th house, which will be like the most elevated planet really up there. And again, that's very enlightening. It's not like you can hide. You're getting to a point now, the full moon is up high in your chart. If you've been hiding secrets, they're coming out, I'm telling you. But that full moon's going to be in Gemini. That's travel, maybe. That's education. That's religion, philosophy. Some of you could just be going to church. It could be the way you think about everything, like the way you think about legal things, government, the way you think about politics. I don't know why I got politics out of that, but yeah, something like that. That's all being affected now. You might also be thinking about going back to school, or maybe taking a class, or, you know, something like that. I see that as well. Your money, you might be affected by money this month, because Mercury and Mars is in the 2nd house and Uranus is in the 8th. I think with that, keep your mind on your money. And if if you got some money, make sure you stash it away. Like, you know, don't fool around with the money. This is not time to mess with that. And also be careful at your work. I see Neptune's in the 6th house. There just could be some things that are like misplaced, or things are confused, or you might get blamed for something that you shouldn't be blamed for. And with the North Node in Cancer in the 10th house, you might get emotional, and that does square Libra. So, you know, just be cautious of that kind of thing. All right. Okay, well, you guys, this is all I got to tell you. I don't want to talk anymore about that 4th house stuff, because I could be wrong. It just could be just a lot of emphasis on your family in general. Like, you just might have a big family, or have a lot of emphasis on family in your life. It could just be that, okay? All right, you guys. Well, much love and light to you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, if I don't see you until after January. And much love and light to everyone. All right? Bye now. So up next, we have the sign of Taurus. Taurus. Oh, my goodness. Well, Taurus, this is it. All the emphasis is going to be happening up in your 9th house, Taurus. You guys might be traveling. You're probably going on a vacation to go see somebody. Most likely going on like a Christmas trip, a Christmas vacation, maybe to go see somebody you've been flirting with. Oh, yeah. You got Mercury and Mars in the 7th house. I mean, most likely you guys have been, planning and plotting and, to go see someone and communicate with this person or that. I do see that you've got that going on, a lot going on in the ninth house. Now, there is one thing, it could also come out in a certain other ways. It could be education, it could be travel, as I mentioned, it could be legal law, it could be that, well, I was thinking legal. Something legal, most likely. Jupiter in its own place of ninth house. It could be philosophy, but I was thinking legal. You got a lot of emphasis there. The sun and the new moon is going to be there. Venus is going to be there. Jupiter's going to be there. Saturn, Pluto, the solar eclipse is happening there. So there's a lot of emphasis in the ninth house for Taurus. And it might just be that, for some Tauruses, you felt like for a while you couldn't travel, or that you didn't have, for some reason you might have felt like you're trapped, you couldn't get away. But you may feel now that you have the ability to move with the sun there and Jupiter there and Venus. These are a little bit more lighthearted than Saturn and Pluto. And so maybe you might feel like there's an opening, you can finally talk or communicate. With Mercury and Mars in the seventh house, you could be communicating to another partner or someone that you're deeply involved with. The full moon is in the second house of money. So starting as of tomorrow, the 12th of December, you're going to have 2 weeks where really the emphasis is going to be on money. And not so much, big money, but it's the money that you have, the money that you get in from, say, your paycheck or from somewhere, and it's what you can use to buy what you want and what makes you happy. And, like your toys, your house, your car, your clothes, things like that. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on things like that. The North Node is in the third house still. I've been urging you, Tauruses, to speak out and communicate all year. I really hope that you do that with Mercury in the seventh house, dealing with your partnerships. This would have been a perfect time to do that. Uranus is still in the first house for Taurus, which tells me that a lot of Tauruses have not, how can I put this? Many Tauruses have gone off the deep end. Somewhere between last year and this year, many Tauruses are not the same. You've made decisions that a lot of people don't necessarily agree with. And I don't know how I got that on my hand. But there's just, a lot of people just feel like, wow, what happened to Taurus? The Taurus is not quite the same as they were last year or year before or whatever. And, just something like that. So just be aware that this is occurring, because I don't even think that you guys are aware that this is what is occurring, and what people are seeing, and how people are reacting to you, because well, first of all, you got Chiron in the 12th. So, you could be operating from some secret pain that no one knows about because you've not shared it with anyone, really. And then, you got Uranus in the first, so there it's coming out in erratic behavior. And it may be, some form of erratic behavior that even you're not really that aware of. But I just hope that that you are more consciously aware of the behavior that you're putting forth. One thing I do want to say to Taurus is that you've had that Neptune affecting your friendships all year. And, at one point or another, I think a lot of Tauruses are going to just wake up and realize, oh my gosh, my friend has sold me down the river, or I took this friend's advice. It wasn't great advice. It ruined my life, or, something like that. So just be aware of taking advice from people instead of listening to your own inner voice. And it might be that you feel like you can't listen to your inner voice so much right now because Chiron's in the 12th house. So I can relate to that. And so I would say don't make any really hard and fast decisions at this time. Okay? All right. Well, much love and light to you, Taurus. And, good luck with the travel, and good luck with getting the things that you want. Okay. And much love and light to you, and happy holidays, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year's as well. Okay. All right. So next I have the sign of Aries. Hello, Aries. Aries. Well, Aries, you guys have made a lot of big changes in your lives, I think, over the last month or two. Or I just feel like with so many things happening on the angles, especially when it was Libra season, I think that's when it started. Because now, there's nothing in Libra, but you have a stellium of planets on the 10th house. That's an angle. You got Chiron in Aries in the first house. That's an angle. And you got the North Node in the fourth house in Cancer. That's an angle. So you've been dealing with some very serious life situations that have been a little stressful. They haven't been that easy for you, but I think it's getting better. I really do. And hopefully you're going to take advantage of the full moon that is coming up tomorrow in Gemini. That's going to fall in your third house. And the third house is a very interesting house because it rolls like local transportation. So when I see it, I right away think of things like cars and buses and trains and bicycles and walking around and just hanging around in your community and talking with people that you know and stuff like that. Also, it could be extended family, like your brothers or sisters or cousins or aunts or uncles or nieces or nephews or anything like that. It could just be neighbors or people in your community that you know and talk to, but you're going to have a full moon there. So it could be that you have some emotional issue that crops up either as of tomorrow or over the next few weeks that deals with those issues. So it could be like traveling. It could be getting from point A to point B, like if you have to take a train or you have to take a bus, and it could be something to do with that, or it could have something to do with your family members or something of that nature, or maybe your neighborhood or something that happened in your community or something of that nature. So please be aware of that. Also, the third house rules communication. So it may well have a lot to do with just talking more and communicating and just speaking, sending out Christmas cards, all of those types of things. Very third house. And Gemini is the natural ruler of the third house. And so I would think it's coming out in communication or writing or something like that. With the North Node in the fourth house, and you've been dealing with that, all year, it's just emphasis in your home and family life. You may have changed your home and family life over the last few months. You may even have, suddenly it's a whole different thing than it was. I just see that your North Node in the fourth house is making your home life an emphasis for you. And, you're going to do it up big. I think your home life is going to shine. One of the, because it's Cancer, North Node in Cancer. And one of the other things I wanted to mention is that Uranus is in the second house. So your money might be a little all over the place. It's hard to really pin down or count on your money when Uranus is going through the second house. Just be aware of that. That way, nothing comes out of the blue, shocks you, knocks you off your feet because it's not unexpected. Because literally, Uranus in the second house is unexpected events with dealing with money. Okay, so be cautious of that. Also, you've got Chiron, the wounded healer, in the first house, which tells me that there could be some wounds or pains that you're healing that have to do with yourself, your personality, your actual physical self. So, work on those things and heal those wounds and make yourself better. Neptune's in the 12th house. It's the house of self-undoing. It just indicates to me someone's doing a lot of smoking or drinking or partying too much or doing sneaky things. Be careful of that. Those are the kind of things that come back to haunt you. As of, let's see, the 20th, I just realized Venus goes into Aquarius, which will be in your house of friends. And so then I think you'll be doing really well with friends, Aries. But a lot of the emphasis in the month is just in the 10th house of Capricorn. That's where most of the emphasis is, because at one point we're going to have, well, we have the sun, we have Jupiter, we have Pluto, Saturn, Venus is going through the 10th now. Mercury is going to be there on the 28th. We got the new moon in the 10th. We're going to have a solar eclipse in the 10th. I mean, that's a lot of stuff happening in the 10th house. My goodness. That is telling me that your career, it's all about your career, Aries. Your career. And if not your career, your image, your reputation, the way people see you, I always say it's the legacy we leave behind. And you, Aries, are really working on building and establishing that right now. And establishing and building are great words for Capricorn, because that's exactly what Capricorn does. They build, they establish, you set the foundation for whatever it is that you want to achieve in your career. If you set that foundation down, anything is possible. Okay. All right. Well, much love and light to you, Aries. May you have a beautiful, wonderful, happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas. Much love and light to you. Blessings. And next I have Pisces. Pisces. I finally get to talk to my wonderful Pisces. I always think of you as my brothers and sisters because my progressed sun is in Pisces. And I don't talk about that much, but it is. It just means that I progressed into being a Pisces now. I've lived long enough that I'm no longer a Capricorn, but a Pisces. So let's talk about what is affecting Pisces for the month of December. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that the full moon is falling in the 4th house for Pisces. That means the emphasis is going to be in your home life. And it's not easy because it's a square. Gemini squares Pisces, and no one wants a square from themselves to their home. This could mean that you could have some issues with family. It could be issues with the mother in particular, but I'm thinking just family. Or just something in the home life, or in the family, or in the actual house, the physical house. It's Gemini. So to me, it signifies communication and talking and speaking. And I don't know why. I just keep thinking I hear the radio and the television's on. Just lots of communication like that, like just on the phone, on the computer. Plus you got Uranus in the 3rd house in Taurus. So there could be something really crazy going on in the area of communication. You might get some crazy kind of letter or communication via email or something like that. So be aware of that. The full moon is going to be affecting Pisces for the next 2 weeks. So be aware of that until we get that new moon in Capricorn on the 26th. And that's a game changer. Really, it is. Because when we get that new moon in Capricorn, that's going to be in your 11th house, but Jupiter is there in Capricorn. Venus is there until the 20th. The sun is in Capricorn. Saturn's in Capricorn. Pluto's in Capricorn. Jupiter's in Capricorn. The solar eclipse is in Capricorn. It's just a packed area. And this is the area of the 11th house in your chart, Pisces. So this is the area that deals with friendships, like friends and groups and associations and clubs and organizations and people that you know or people that you hang out with or anything like that. And this is where a lot of that emphasis, and if it hasn't been, when the new moon gets there, on the 26th, that's when you're really going to feel this emphasis in that 11th house. You're really going to start to feel it then. Now, here's the amazing thing. Up until the time that the sun moves into Capricorn, which I think is the 21st, you've had the sun in the 10th house. That's your career. So I'm wondering, Pisces, how have you been doing in your career? Have you taken advantage of having the sun in your 10th house of career and fixed your reputation and your image and, you know, hobnob with your bosses or whatever and made it so that it, you know, there's at least some possibility of you getting ahead in your career or getting some bonus brownie points in your career during the month of December, okay? So this is pretty much what I see for you guys, Pisces. Now, the only thing I do want to mention is that you guys have Chiron in Aries. It's in your second house of money. And so some Pisces may feel like their money has not been tight or not as tight as they would want it to be. And you guys have not been down with that. It has not made you happy that your money has not been exactly on point, especially since it's Christmas. And you may have been a little bit worried about your finances this Christmas. Hopefully this is a year that you get that all worked out because it was in Chiron and it is healing. It's a wounded healer, but it heals the wounds. Wherever the wounds are, it goes to heal them. So hopefully that's something that got worked out for you or will be worked out for you in time for Christmas. All right. So much love and light to you, Pisces. And I thank you so much for, you know, listening and liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I just want to wish you a very happy holiday and a very Merry, Merry Christmas. Much love and light to you. Bye now. So you guys, I am so happy to announce that I managed to catch up on all of my readings. Thank goodness. So what I am going to do, you guys, is, you know, it's going to take me a little while. It usually takes me a day or so, but I'll break these all down so that, you know, each one of you guys can get a hold of your reading for the month easily. And I'll try to get it done by tomorrow, hopefully by the full moon. Let's pray for me that I can get that done. All right. So anyway, you guys, it's been my pleasure. Much love and much light to everybody. I'm going to put on some music and I'm going to just ease on down the road and out of here. All right. Much love and light with everyone. Bye now. Well, where am I here? Oh, wait. There we go.